Testing 1, 2, 1, 2. Power on. Board functioning at 100%. Microphone detected. Storage accessible and ready to receive content. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Spectrum Blocks.
Hey everybody, welcome to Spectrum Talks. It's another week. It's another great day to be alive. Today we have the guy. I guess we can, around here he's the guy. I don't know in the real world if he's really the guy. But Tom Woodard, he's a great guy, and that's all I can say. So Tom, basically this show is about talking about things that are on the spectrum, and I've kind of been learning about the world of the spectrum, for lack of a better word, because you helped invite me into your world. You've created a wonderful place, and I know everybody's heard about it here on the show, called On the Avenue. You've created the place, and it's a work in progress. It's a beautiful thing. You've allowed a lot of other people to come help grab paintbrushes with you and kind of figure it out as we go along day by day, and I get to be part of that journey, and I thank you for that publicly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so tell us a little bit about On the Avenue in your words, from the guy who started it.
Yeah, man. Thanks, dear. Glad to be on. This is fun. On the Avenue is kind of one of our dads called it a therapeutic milieu a long time ago, and I thought we had to spray for that or do some sort of bleach treatment. But it turned out it was just a big experiment that we had, and God had a plan for this place, and it's really, and then I wrote a line yesterday. So that was kind of the beginning. And then I wrote a line yesterday that said, On the Avenue is a destination where it's all about the journey. And I thought that was kind of an interesting way of describing what we're about here. It's about making the journey better. It's about giving everybody opportunity and as much access as we can possibly give them. I think traditionally people on the spectrum have been assigned to certain tasks and roles in life, as maybe all of us have, in some different way. And I think what On the Avenue tries to do is discover the hidden talents or not so hidden talents in others and really foster those.
Yeah, and I think it's a really cool place. And we came up with an analogy from Big John earlier where he was talking about it was hard for him to tie his shoe as a young kid. And I asked him, I said, did you learn how to tie your shoe? And he said, yes. And it was years later, but he learned how to tie his shoe. And I think that's the beauty of this place. We're not forcing the learning down your throat with a time period. It's, let's hang out, let's figure this out. And I may figure it out today, but I might have to teach you for who knows how long, and maybe a day, and you may never get it. And we're okay with that, and I think there's a coolness in that.
There is.
And then there's a super coolness is when the moments happen.
Yeah.
When somebody comes in and they just do something and you're like, dude, you couldn't do that yesterday and you just did it.
Right.
And then I break down and cry because I'm an emotional guy.
That's right.
We get those moments, and that makes me want to come in every day.
That's right.
And just hang out with everybody, because those moments are just the most amazing thing.
Yeah, me too.
And it's not about those moments either.
No,
it's about being there for the day. Through the hard times, there's days when we have citizens who just want to sleep all day, and that's okay too, And you just make sure they're covered up and comfortable, and there's a beauty in that too.
There's a beauty in that. It's a safe place to come. We like that. That's what On the Avenue is really about. It's about allowing people to be challenged and be themselves all at the same time. Yeah, it's a cool deal.
And so I'm trying to keep these new versions of this podcast a little bit shorter, so we're gonna cruise on. But maybe one thing we have been talking about just in terms of awareness to the world. We all do learn to tie our shoes at different intervals, but I think the world needs to be cognizant that some people just can't tie their shoes as quickly as others, and be kind about that, and be more aware. And I know right now in history, we're the most self-centered, absorbed group of people on our flying rock in the middle of space. But, are there words of wisdom you can give to everybody out there on how not to be so, phone-centric, for lack of a better word, so self-absorbed? So,
I'm reading a book by a guy named David Brooks, and it's called Second Mountain. And I wished I'd built my second mountain first. The first mountain's built for yourself, and then the second mountain's built for others. And, you know, my faith tells me that I'm to put God before all others and love my neighbor as myself. And I think that's what we've forgotten. We've totally forgotten that. And so my words of wisdom of that would be that the true joy comes from serving others and doing things for others. But it also it creates a lot of great feeling and peace inside yourself. You know, that's a lot of stuff. Don't be so self-absorbed. Yeah, it's a dead end road. I wish I had a better word of wisdom for that. But
I just thought of an analogy based on your mountain thing. You know, when we strive to climb mountains, it's hard work, and we keep going. It gets harder and harder, but at some point, it almost becomes impossible, and we have to rely on other people.
Yeah.
And if we don't, we're into the death zone.
Yeah.
Well, and we're relying on other things, and then once all that goes away, we die. So I think you know, we're not supposed to go to the top of Everest. We're supposed to stay down with the Sherpas and help one another, and you know, and that might be a better lesson to explain.
There's a great saying. It says you can go further faster. You can go faster alone, but you can go further together.
Oh, that's a good one.
And you know, you can take off and run by yourself, but you'll burn out. And it's really about traveling with others, man. Here's what I will say. Here to deal with autism, we're all on the spectrum, Dieter. I agree. There's no question that you and I are somewhere on the spectrum. And I believe that we all have gifts and shortcomings. And so the thing that I've really learned is we're really all no different. I may just not be diagnosed, and yet there is a diagnosis and a stigma that comes with that that we have to break down and just accept people for who they are and what they stand for, what their heart is, not necessarily what their diagnosis or their lot in life is. And I think that's a big problem.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's keep it short. We could talk all afternoon, and I'm sure we'll have you back at some point in time. But everybody, have an awesome time, and thanks for listening.